What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to do something that's a little bit against the grain, shall we say, of the Formula 1 game. The slogan of the career mode is make history. Most people would imply make history in a good way. We're going to do the complete opposite and see if we can make our mark in Formula 1 by being regarded as the worst driver ever to grace the cockpit of a Formula 1 car. And to do that, we're going to have to crash out in every single F1 session, practice, qualifying, race. It all needs to come together, and we all need to make sure that we completely decimate our reputation within our own team and within the views of the others as well. So it all starts off here in Australia, in the McLaren Honda, and, well, ranging into turn 1, I don't see things ending well for any one of the 22 cars that are in front of me. Bang. That is our first race done, and just the start of what is to come in this season of carnage. So at the end of that race, you can see the kind of damage that you've dealt out, and in the rivalry, got absolutely decimated by Fernando Alonso. In terms of the team approval, that started off in the middle between all the teams, and it dropped right down to the bottom straight after qualifying. So in terms of that, none of the teams want to sign me at this stage. The session goal there, as you can see, we actually passed, because McLaren Honda's goals are so low that if I take anyone out over the course of this season, then I'm actually going to meet some of their objectives, which is pretty out of whack. But now we're going to meet Jonathan, who is quite impressed with my first drive.
Is this the one?
Indeed it is. And this is Jonathan. He's going to let you drive some of his cars.
So I need a pro. And that's where you come in. And I have it on good authority that you have the ability and temperament to do well in these. Make our business look good, and most importantly, bring the cars back in one piece. Nothing like being trackside at a Grand Prix, huh?
I think that went pretty well. He might want me to jump in more cars over the course of this season, but away we go for the Monaco Grand Prix. Many crashes later, and a hefty repair bill for McLaren Honda, and we have crashed our way into the middle part of the season. Very surprising that even now, 5-6 races into the season, I've got no verbal or written warning from the team. They're still happy for me to go about my business, destroying the entire field and continuing to leave my mark in the sport. What is this team?
Hey, I need to talk to you for a minute. It looks like we're falling behind upgrade-wise. I really need you to push harder with developments. Take a look at the report. I've got to get ready for a debrief.
So as well as crashing out the car, not performing well at all, completely just making the expenses rise for McLaren Honda, we are also not developing the car either, and we are getting dangerously close to being overtaken car performance-wise by Sauber, who are quite a bit slower than McLaren Honda. But we continue on with the season, onto the Canadian Grand Prix, and this time I got a bit bored of smashing people out turn 1, so I decided to jump the start, and well, I never even got the chance to completely wreck out, and we watched Kimi Räikkönen once again win another Grand Prix. This man cannot be stopped in career mode, but if I have my way, I'll do my best to do that job. We come to Baku now, completely destroy ourselves in qualifying and in the race. Still, no verbal warning from the team. They're still happy for me to continue what I'm doing, because every time I come into a race and destroy a couple of cars, I somehow luckily manage to finish in front of them in the race standings, and because of that, I have beaten the team's overall objective, simply because they set the bar so low that, how hard is it not to finish above 18th place when you wreck out about 5 cars every time? But I think finally, Emma has had enough, and she's going to have a word.
Listen, I'm doing what I can, but there's a real risk of your next deal being less than favorable. You need to start impressing the team.
Are you all right? Engine off, engine off.
Hey, Our upgrade pace is looking solid right now. Here's the report.
Hey, solid job there, overtaken by Sauber. Get in. That's going to make the team goals even easier. I only need to finish in last to keep the team happy. But away we go for the Belgian Grand Prix. As you can tell, I am very, very twitchy. I am racing on the pad for this video. And for the first time this season, I legitimately crashed out. I actually couldn't believe it. Couldn't get my way to Les Combes, and that was the end of my race. Once again, we have some words with Chris, and as you can see, Sauber have actually streaked ahead of us. So, I mean, if the season wasn't already dire, we're getting into critical levels of McLaren Honda possibly going into extinction with the amount of funds that are costing them in this race. But you saw both the Mercedes up in the air and glued at turn 1. Somehow, they both managed to finish on the podium for a 1-2, which was quite outstanding. But somehow, after 11, 12 rounds of just non-stop crashing, not doing anything, we're still employed by the team. And I was actually starting to lose my patience with this. But finally, after the Singapore Grand Prix, it was the final straw with the team, and unfortunately, this was our last race.
If you carried on as you were and you didn't start putting in the kind of performances the team expected, you were going to lose your drive. Well, it's happened. As of today, you are no longer an employee of this organization. Lucky for you, one of us is competent. I found you an option elsewhere, and I suggest you take it if you want any hope of salvaging this so-called career of yours. Now hurry up and make up your mind.
So there we go. We are now a free agent in Formula 1. It only took about the majority of the season of non-stop crashing, completely dragging the team through the mud, both on and off the track. The team has finally had enough, and they have shown me the door. Now, I did get the option to sign with Sauber, and I cannot comprehend why they would want to sign me after the performances I put in, but that is the end of this F1 2017 career mode video, trying to see if we could get fired. I almost lost my patience and thought it would never happen, but to be fair, we did do it in a really low team, and it was quite easy to, I'd say, pass the goals that the team set, given that they were so low. But thank you guys so much for watching. A little bit of a different video. If you're new to my channel, just bear in mind that I don't drive like this normally. Some would say I do. But I do try and keep it clean most of the time. And to see that ending cutscene was actually pretty good. The actor, whoever played the part, actually did a pretty convincing job there. She looked pretty pissed off after all the crashes that we put the team through. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more F1 2017 videos. Ones where I take them seriously and actually try to make history in a good way. Until the next video, I'll see you next time. By the way, I finished the game.